yeah.
Okay, you guys ready for the panel?
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yes. We'll see you guys. I think we're all going to the same.
Yeah.
Okay, who's here for the panel?
I'm here for your panel.
All right, here we're gonna.
Because I'm being paid
Yeah.
to be at your panel.
Yay!
That is how my life works, apparently.
So this is the story behind Beetlejuice.
Sure. Just to let you know, the projector is a little wonky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is there anything?
It's just the projector itself. It's a little out of focus. Also, it's raising it a little.
Alright, that's
Yeah.
good. I'm Kitty. This is Fizzy.
Hi, Busy.
He is very nervous, so he won't be talking. He's just gonna be fixed over here. Okay, we're gonna talk about the story behind Beetlejuice. Where's Sam?
I'm here for your panel.
Okay, let's get this shit started.
I've seen so much karaoke.
Let's do
Now I
this.
want to be over here.
Yeah. Is there a way of maybe fixing the projector though? Because it's acting a little wonky. Just better to ask.
Oh wait, there's no sound. Oh god.
Why is the
It's a
I
little.
mean, as far as just like positioning this,
Yeah, it's slightly off.
Oh, there's no sound because I have
that's mostly an issue of just like getting this balanced right.
Yeah.
Because like you see, as soon as you tilt this, like it starts looking more normal.
Yeah, but why is there no audio though?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, the audio was working fine from one panels earlier.
Yeah, I was there.
Like, and as soon as I pull this out, then like it
I
blows
saw
up
it
the
was
screen
fixed
a
for
little
the
bigger.
trivia one. That's the only one I was
Actually, you know what?
seeing.
Here, I got a way to do the audio for right
18.
now, but we do need the audio for later though, because I have a couple clips. Yay.
Is it HDMI issue?
I mean, if you want to try to take a stab at fixing the audio.
It was working fine before.
So what is it through HDMI?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, it might be unplugged.
Oh!
This is supposed to be connected to something?
I don't think so. Where's the audio?
So why is it connected over there?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, exactly.
That is
Might-
weird.
might-
Want me to help you with that?
Oh.
Want me to help you?
Let's see. We're having issues with getting audio.
I guess for right now we don't need the audio because it's just talking. But okay, first scary, shameless self-promotion. So, my name is Kitty Monk. I make YouTube videos. A couple of them are on Beetlejuice. In fact, my first big video to get big was on the Beetlejuice episode of Teen Titans Go, where, well, you'll see that later. So, alright, you want to try again? Or...
We fixed it.
Beetlejuice.
Okay, no, it's fine. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so I make Beetlejuice videos, a couple of them. Most of them are on South Park, but you can find me on Kitty Monk, so a bunch of resources on there. So, these are pictures of me with the cast of the Beetlejuice musical. See, that's Reed Alex Brightman. He also plays Raleigh. I met him at the Broadway Flea Market because he never stage doors except at the Broadway Flea Market. He's a really nice guy. This is me seeing it on Halloween. It was actually special because at the end of the play he said like Happy Halloween, so that was cool. This is me with Justin Colette, the touring Beetlejuice, with my aunt and my sister. This is me at the Philip Jimmy Kimmel Academy of Music in Philly. This is me when Beetlejuice closed the second time. They started having all these big events. So one of them was a paint and sip, and I painted Sandy, and I got drunk and I puked on the way home. This is me with Rob McClure. He's currently Mrs. Doubtfire. He played Adam in the Beetlejuice movie. Not the movie, the musical.
Musical.
This is the standby Will Plum, but he's a cool guy too. And this is Justin Colette. So the entire cast from the touring production, I went to go see it in DC. They signed my bag.
That's cool.
So as you can guess, I love Beetlejuice. In fact,
You have a tattoo of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Justin even saw my tattoo, but they wouldn't do it because it was new, so it washed off. But there's a lot we don't know about Beetlejuice. Like, where did he come from? Who is he? Why is he so juicy? What's his favorite juice? Why the fuck can't he say his name? But he could say Beetle or Juice. By that merit, couldn't he say his name? You're like, why can't he just make a woman, considering how he can make, like, living things and marry that? But who is-
Rumpelstiltskin.
What?
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes! Oh my god! But who is Beetlejuice? Okay, this is the one I'm sure y'all are familiar with. The version of him who was in King of the Hill. No joke, really. He was in an episode of King of the Hill.
He was?
Yeah, remember the pig episode?
Oh, God.
He played Trip Larson. That was him.
Okay.
So Beetlejuice has become one of the most popular characters of all time, especially in the 2010s and 2020s. Like, I remember as a kid, nobody talked about him. Now it's like everybody knows him.
Hot Topic.
Yes, that too. And part of it, yeah, it's Hot Topic, but I think another part of it is the Broadway musical, because before that, I had no clue what Beetlejuice was, and now he's like my favorite all-time character. So the Broadway musical was how I found Beetlejuice. It was during the pandemic. I worked at one of those big high-rise like apartments that are making it so I can never afford a house, but I would listen to that, so that really appealed to me. Like, especially Lydia, she was the most relatable character I had at that point. Yeah, you can just ask.
Oh, sure. Do you think Rumpelstiltskin and Beetlejuice are related?
Yeah, you can see that.
Mm.
I mean, he's got the hair.
Yeah.
However, he's had countless parodies, a hit cartoon, a Broadway musical that is currently on tour, and I think they're doing a junior version, so that's good too.
Mm-hmm.
But how did you guys discover Beetlejuice?
The movie?
Cartoon series, actually.
We're actually talking
The
about
cartoon's awesome, though.
I don't think it originally aired on Nickelodeon, but I think it was on Nickelodeon.
It was
Yeah.
a Nickelodeon at one point, yeah.
That's how I got into it. It is available on Shout Factory, but you gotta buy the complete set to get the 4th season. They released the first 3 seasons individually. They never released the 4th season individually.
Yeah,
so you
because they
gotta.
don't want it on TV anymore.
Yep.
Well, I guess, but like, release the 4th season by itself
Yeah,
for the
but
people who
everything
bought the
else is
first
already
3 seasons. Like, it
I'm
doesn't.
sure,
Like,
like,
that's
Ren and
BS.
Stimpy wasn't inappropriate, or Rocko's Water and Life
Yeah,
wasn't.
It's
I've
so
watched
very
that
inappropriate.
cartoon
Like, I don't
religiously.
get why.
That was
That's
extremely
extremely inappropriate.
But it's
No,
like
no.
Beetlejuice, like, is ahead of its time, like, ahead of those. Like, it
Yeah.
was the first cartoon to have, like, CGI in it, even though a lot of it was, like, shoehorned in. Like, Beetlejuice would just stop the episode to, like, show a random cartoon. But we'll talk about that later, so sorry.
And honestly, I remember watching both the movie, actually first the cartoon when I was like in nursery rhymes, and then got into the Michael Keaton movie, and I've just been a fan for as long as I can remember. I'm 34 years old, so it's been.
Rock on.
Yeah.
We're the same age.
So.
Everyone's 34. This is so
Yeah.
But the thing is with
31.
Beetlejuice, it just holds a very special place in like everyone's heart because it's funny, it's dark, it's just extremely comical, and Tim Burton just knows how
Yeah.
to do things right. So.
Well, in that time period.
And that time period, of course,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
Later on, he
so
went a little.
what do you guys know about Beetlejuice?
First off, he can't say his name.
Yeah, he can't. He's weak like that.
Yeah, and also the fact that people have to summon him, just like Rumpelstiltskin. And also the fact that he can only be summoned by other ghosts, which is very interesting.
Well, humans can summon him too.
Yeah,
Like,
true, but like initially when you're introduced to him in the film, the ghosts need him first, and then only through, what's her name, the main girl?
Lydia?
Lydia, thank you.
Lydia.
Through Lydia, then we're able to see him, but like mostly it's a ghost-to-ghost business proposition.
Yeah. Honestly, I would name my first child like Lydia because I think that's such
Yeah,
a cute
this
name.
is- I think
But one of my
this is-
friends is Lydia, and she has a channel called Lydia Loves Timeline, so I can't do it without being weird. So.
Oh.
Yeah. That's okay. No, you can, no, know what you can do? Oh, I have a really good idea for you. So I just learned about this thing. Just hear me out. If you want to name someone something but you can't, just call them the daughter of or son of.
Oh, yeah.
So like in Hebrew it's Ben for son of, and then I don't remember the top of my head what Hebrew the female version is, but you can do that. Basara Lydia. There you
Oh,
go.
that's cute. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the main version played by Michael Keaton. Also Trip Larson. That's how I found out who he was. He was also in Frasier, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And
so-
Batman.
Oh, he was too.
He's Batman.
But I didn't grow up with him as Batman.
Neither did I.
I did.
Time travel though.
there were many versions of Beetlejuice before and during production of the movie because we know like nothing of his backstory, so it's like important we figure out like what they had in store because sometimes that's kind of canon. So, guess who this is?
The original version of Beetlejuice.
Yeah, he looks like a cross between a kindergarten teacher and a hipster.
Yes.
Like he just shops at the thrift store.
Yes, of course.
So, fun fact, Tim Burton was not the mastermind behind Beetlejuice. He was handed the idea. So originally, the movie was supposed to be about Beetlejuice being a Middle Eastern man and a winged demon. It was a more straightforward black comedy. At one point, Wes Craven was supposed to direct it.
Really?
So the way it works is, when you dig up Beetlejuice from his grave, he can't go back in there. So he would just spend it like wreaking havoc. So Lydia was going to have a little sister named Kathy who could see and speak to the Maitlands. But for simplicity's sake, they just combined them into Lydia. So Lydia, on the other hand, because this is important later, would have become a target for Beetlejuice, but solely for sex. Like he would have raped her and mauled her.
What now?
Yeah, this is why the panel's 18+.
What the fuck?
The original script?
Wait,
That's the original script?
yeah, that's the original idea. This is before Tim Burton got a hold of it.
Ah.
They made it more family friendly.
That explains the marriage. That would explain it.
It gets better in the musical how they do it. So, according to Juno in the movie, this is the version we get, Beetlejuice was her assistant, a role that he hates, but now Miss Argentina does it. So he went off on his own to become a freelance bioexorcist, and I have questions about how he's able to do this and why they let him do it, it'd be so dangerous, but eh. So somehow he's able to travel between the world of the living and the dead, and he kind of has a home, which some people think is his grave, but it's like, he can do his job, but in a way you don't want. Because honestly, he does his job, and it's like he gets penalized for it. Like, he scares the Deeses, and they're like, you're not supposed to do it like that. He's like, you didn't tell me I wasn't supposed to do it like that. So he gets eaten, and then I guess he goes to beg for his old job back. But this means, technically, this is another reason why it's 18+, Beetlejuice killed himself in his human life.
Because suicide is morally ambiguous?
Okay, so during the dinner scene, like the banana boat scene,
Uh-huh.
Ofo makes like a short quip. It's the only thing he's right about in the whole movie. He says that people who unalive themselves become civil servants in the afterlife. We never find out for how long, like if they can never move on, if it's like you just do community service and then you move on, what you even move on to, but you can't move on and that's your job. And I can understand why he did that, because I swore to myself I would never work in an office as long as I lived, because I saw what happened to my parents. So yeah, Miss Argentina, she has the wrist things. Juno, like, had her throat slit. Then there's the guy who takes Barbara and Adam to go meet Juno, and he's like flattened because he jumped in front of a car.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the other guy that's literally flat like a pancake.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
He has like a crap life though. Like he just sits in a little like slot thing. Ugh.
It's
Yeah.
the only way he can live.
Yeah, I was like,
Unfortunately.
it sucks though.
Yeah.
So, okay. This is another reason why it's 18+. In one version of the script, which was like almost a completed version, Lydia was supposed to, like, she would have almost married Beetlejuice, and then to get out of it, she would have thrown herself into the fireplace and lived on with the Maitlands as a ghost. Kind of like how they couldn't have kids, so now they have a child.
Oh,
Yep.
that's kind of messed up.
That's why I always thought that why is she up
Hanging
in the
out
air?
with the ghosts.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
literally up in the air dancing.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, that to me makes more sense of like she's
Right.
either,
Remember the song? Yeah.
she's either in between of afterlife.
Yeah, like
Right.
in the completed version, they just
Yeah.
say that like they just lived together as a happy family. But yeah, that was basically supposed to be the end.
Right.
Yep.
However,
Hey.
they didn't. The studio would not let them do this because this would create an unfortunate implication that if you die, you are free of your problems, which does not happen. So it also feeds into a negative stereotype that goths like automatically commit unalive, which they don't. Those Justin Bretnan wannabes. So there's also the question of if those who become civil servants, why would Lydia be exempt from it?
Right. She'd be a silver him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh my god, imagine how many goth kids must be down. So
Because I think it's because of her good deed, probably. Because in reality, she was trying to save them from officially dying because they were bringing them back from the dead.
yeah, that makes sense. That's like the only thing that creeps me out. Like, as an adult, like, nothing creeps me out except that.
Yeah, I know.
But it's like, okay, so you know the part where Beetlejuice tries to say, if you say my name, I'll let you go see them, and then
Right.
Lydia gives the whole speech, and how it feels so, like, tacked on?
Yeah.
That's because it actually was the studio made them do all that.
Oh, okay.
The musical does this way better because they show why Lydia's depressed. That's probably the one problem I have with the movie. They never say why she's depressed. It's like, she's just a moody bitch.
Well,
So-
she's a goth.
No, you can tell that why she's depressed.
I
It
just
just-
assume
it
because she's a
felt
teenager.
weird.
True.
Stepmom really never cared about what she wanted, what she had in her mind.
Yeah, true.
True.
And Dad has his head in the clouds.
Yeah,
Literally.
about birds and
Literally.
everything else.
Yeah,
It's about
yeah,
his
yeah.
vacation.
True.
Yeah, that is true, I
True.
gotta say.
And that causes like separation anxiety, can cause trust issues,
Right, and also
depression.
not trusting the stepmom and all
Yeah,
that.
that's why
Panic
she, that's why
attacks.
when she told her and showed her evidence
Yeah.
of the ghost, she didn't believe her. Her mom
Yep.
like literally looked at her like, you're nuts.
Yep.
Maybe it's because like I saw the musical, they did like a version of it. They did the mental health angle better. The musical was just trying to be like, wait. But
Yeah.
honestly, you guys are all right. I'm gonna try to say like,
And also the TV show, they did a pretty good job explaining.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we're gonna get the TV show
Yeah,
later.
yeah, yeah.
I promise.
Okay, okay.
So how did Beetlejuice die? Apparently they were gonna show this, but it got cut for time. So in one version, Beetlejuice died by hanging because a woman he loved did not return the affection, so he hung himself. The problem was he was drunk, so it wasn't quick. So
Uh-oh.
you know how like Beetlejuice, like his head just spins.
Yeah.
It was supposed to do that the whole movie because of
What?
that. Yeah.
What?
So
so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should remake Beetlejuice then.
they should. It's a TV show.
Netflix.
So the question is, this is what something I always wondered. They know he's dangerous. Like, why do they let him do this? Is it like community service? Isn't it like illegal? Like, shouldn't somebody stop him? Like, I go to his community service because he's at least providing a service and he's getting the ghost to move on. But it's like, they know he's dangerous. And like, how the hell does he have all of these powers? Is it because he used to work for the afterlife, and as we saw with Juno, they have more powers, so he kind of kept his powers, or like, and like, why does he want Lydia? Now they're 18 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so oh my god, that finger is like, why do people cosplay these two as like shipping? Like she's a freaking minor.
This is true.
Like
This
there
is
was
true.
literally a song in the musical called "Creepy Old Guy" that made fun of this. So in the movie, Beetlejuice wants to marry Lydia because apparently then I guess he becomes human or whatever, but then he would still have no powers, but I don't know. But then he would get to like stay in the human world, and he uses this as his price to save the Maitlands. Which honestly, you can't really fault him for this. Like he told Lydia, he promised everything. Now she has to help Bolt around to the party. However, in the musical, he doesn't want to do this because he wants to point Lydia under the guise of marrying her. He literally thinks that because they're friends. in the
Green
musical-
card.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That like Lydia's gonna leave him, so now she can never leave him. So he just green card. But the way he does it, it's not like he's in love with Lydia. He just thinks of it as like two kids playing house, or you're just gonna sign in a co-signer, or I don't know. So yeah, you can tell by the finger, Lydia is not the first person he's tried this on, and it kind of makes you wonder: did he kill the past people? Actually, in the cartoon, there was an episode with Billy the Crud.
It's been a while.
Okay, so there's one episode where they go to like a corner of the afterlife that's like Western themed, and there's like this bull that's like terrorizing the town, and he tries to marry Lydia. So Beetlejuice runs away because he's a fucking coward, but then he sees like a vision of what would happen if he doesn't go back, and Lydia is like 12 years old and has like 10 kids, and she's like dead because Billy forced her to marry her. So Beetlejuice has to rescue her, and that's actually a pretty good episode. And he's like, I don't want to go back. Beetlejuice, you're already dead. Who cares? So this is something interesting I found, which you can kind of argue is like the only human moment he ever has. So when Lydia kind of implies she wants to like, Beetlejuice is like bewildered, and he kind of says, look, I know you have your reasons, but if you let me out, then I guess we can talk or something. Here is the clip.
Mr. and Mrs. Maitland? Hello? Where are you?
So this is a deleted scene?
No, it's a real scene.
Oh.
Of course they're dead. They're ghosts.
No, I mean they're gone, split. out of here afterlife, kids.
Are you a ghost too?
I'm a ghost with
He said the thing!
You know, you look like somebody I can relate to. Maybe you could help me get out of here, you know, because I gotta tell you, this death thing, it's just too creepy. See, here's my problem. I got these friends on the outside that I said I'd meet, you know, and that's the kind of thing I have to be there in person, you know, so I was just wondering, could you help me get out of here?
I don't want to get in.
Why? Well, you know, hey, you probably got your reasons, but the thing is, I can't do anything from over here. If you could get me out over there, then maybe we could talk or something. But, you know, in order to do that, you gotta say my name 3 times.
See, like, it's like he, honestly, maybe part of it is saying, like, okay, if you don't want to do it, I guess I'll help you get it over with, but you could also argue he knows what's going to happen to her if she does it, so he's, like, trying to say, like, no, kid, you don't want to do it. So, does he want to marry her so he can be, like, I guess, rule the world or some shit? Or does he want to marry her for, like, other reasons that are gross? Like I said, there was a version of the script where he was gonna, like...
Bedoink.
Yeah, like, Bedoink and kill her.
Hmm.
So, yeah, after the Maitlands fire him for literally doing his job, Beetlejuice says that he wants to do business with Edgar Allan Poe's daughter. Which I don't think he's gonna do because we saw how upset she got, but... So, when he tells Lydia that she has to marry him, his only perk for her is that she gets to be married to him. Like, wow, dude.
That's a great perk. Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
and, like, he was, after the snake thing, like, after he attacked Lydia, he was, like, woozy, so this had to happen. Literally, that's what happened.
Oh, right, the dead football player thing. Yeah.
So, in a PG-13 sense, was this what he was trying to do? Like, but just leave it, like, family-friendly, so, like, adults know what you're talking about, but kids don't. Juno was cool, but her actress had a horribly tragic life.
Really?
Yeah, she lost her only son, like, ALS.
Oh, wow. The woman who played Lydia?
No, the
Oh.
one who played Juno.
Oh.
The one who played Lydia had, like, a great life.
Oh.
But Adam, he might be going to jail for shooting somebody.
I never understood the football players. Like, did they all just die in a football game?
Yeah, they did.
When? In the film? Because I don't remember that.
It was like, well, because the afterlife doesn't work on the same time as Earth, so it could have been like whatever.
Because I would have liked to see a scene where, like, they explain how the football players got there.
Yeah, honestly, that would be like a good,
Yeah.
I don't know. That would have been a good episode.
Yeah.
The only thing that they said was, hey coach, I don't think we ever made it to that game.
Yeah.
I think they might have died in a
Oh.
bus
So they all
accident.
died.
On a bus or something?
Yep,
Yeah.
bus accident.
Still, though, you still got some of the pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, like it gets creepier, like the older. Oh my God! Wait, hang on. There's the guy, the flat pancake
Yeah,
guy.
the pancake guy.
Yeah, that's why they call him. That's why they call her coach, and they're like,
Right,
like, dude,
right.
I'm not your coach. Like, he's still alive.
Like, shut up! I worked with you. Just
He's
go.
still alive.
Yeah.
And she literally says that to them. He's like, he's still alive.
Wait.
So the coach was still alive, but the foot.
Yes, the coach stayed
Right, he-
alive. They're the only ones that died.
Oh my
Yep.
God, that's fucked up.
That is
Yep.
fucked
The
up.
coach was the only
She
survivor.
literally
Wow.
tells them, like, your coach survived. You
I
guys
don't know.
unfortunately did not.
I mean, last time I saw it was like a while back. I tried film
Mhm.
class. Yeah.
Wait, so you know the Broadway musical? They had like it was in the Marriott Marquis. That's where I went to go see it. They had the flat guy and like a little thing all by himself next to Drunken Head guy in the corner to take pictures with. I took a picture with him.
Oh,
I did not post
Oh,
it.
that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the moment we were all waiting for. The cartoon. Yay!
Oh.
Busy's happy because he's from the
Like how I remembered.
Exactly,
So-
I remembered it.
This one, to me, is kind of canon because Tim Burton worked on it as an executive producer, like all those little advertisements he directed. So in this version, Lydia is voiced by Alison Court, who you might know as Claire Redfield, or X-Man, or Big Comfy Couch.
Yes.
So Beetlejuice is played by Stephen Oamed, I guess that's how you say his name. And fun fact, apparently Lydia was supposed to be voiced by Tara Strong.
Really?
Yeah, but she ended up voicing Lydia's like rival.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
another interesting fact: the entire cast recorded separately, except for Lydia and Beetlejuice. Their actors recorded together to make it more authentic. And Lydia's voice actress was only like 12.
Huh.
But there's actually an interesting. Wait, hang on.
I actually thought that the voice actor was like 16 or something.
Yeah, maybe she is. I just know she was like younger than like this was like before Big Comfy Couch. So.
Yeah. Time and space.
Okay, what is different? Lydia is now a like 12-year-old instead of a teenager. The Maitlands don't appear, and they never explain why. I just tell myself they went on like a 1,000-year honeymoon.
Probably.
And Lydia and Beetlejuice are best friends, but at the same time, it's also an AU. Now, in this version, Beetlejuice does look like a little more like a DILF, like the movie version I went not. But
More of the Johnny Bravo vibe.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Kavorka.
Hmm.
Okay, so have many of you noticed that Beetlejuice has like black fingertips?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever hear the theory? The urban legend?
Oh.
Okay, it's an urban legend. This isn't true, but this started during the early days of the internet. Because remember, Beetlejuice came out in like 1991, maybe like before that. I don't know.
90. What was it? 93? Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, like around there, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't born yet.
I was around. I
wasn't born. It's so
I will tell you what it was like. You had to.
1988 it came out. The original.
1988.
The
That's
original movie.
Oh.
The movie, yeah.
no, the cartoon.
The cartoon.
Right,
I remember actually being up probably like around 5:30 in the morning. Watching as a
Yeah, it was at a
child.
weird hour.
You had to wake up to
Yeah.
watch cartoons.
Yes, you had to. It was only aired at certain times.
Yes.
That's
Yep,
the way
that's
it
time.
was.
The Beetlejuice
I had to watch,
aired at
Um,
a certain
Case
time.
Closed, then after Case Closed was Beetlejuice.
Yeah, everything was aired at a certain time.
Yup,
You have to,
yup.
like, right after school, everybody's running.
Yup.
Running
You
around.
have to, otherwise you miss
Just
it.
if you don't see that show, that's it. It's
Yup.
over.
Yup.
You should not
That's
see
how it was.
again.
Shoot,
That's
I
what it was.
remember
We didn't
when-
have TiVo
Nope.
or like.
VCR tapes you could record, but you had to know it beforehand.
Yeah.
I have so many old Simpsons tapes
Yeah.
that's from
Actually
doing
look
that.
at a
Like,
TV
shoot, I
guide that was
remember
like
when I
a
was, like,
book.
Yep.
And they
Yep.
just mail it to your house every week.
Yep.
Literally.
My dad said it
Come
was the
home
guy's
at a
channel. I
specific
thought it was
time.
obsolete.
We had
Oh, it's
commercials.
still around.
And you couldn't skip
Yep.
them.
No, I
Nope.
actually like
Nope.
commercials because it makes me feel more in the moment, but
It
that,
felt,
everything else.
It-
to me, it felt longer. The
You had
It
to-
commercials
did,
felt a
it did.
lot
Because you didn't
longer.
know when the next part was coming.
Yup.
Yeah.
You had to watch a
Did
TV show
you-
and then next week find out what happened.
Right.
And if you
Yup.
miss
Yep.
next week's show, well, then you're SOL.
Yep.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's,
Too much-
that's-
unless
that's
Pretty
still-
recorded
that's
it.
still a thing. Streaming
If
services
that.
still do that
If
more.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have cable, but I have YouTube TV because I like live TV.
No, but
Yeah,
this is
but
before
that,
YouTube.
Yeah,
This
Wait,
before
so
YouTube.
you
YouTube
couldn't-
wasn't a thing until 2005.
Wait,
Yeah.
but like, was it you had TV 24/7?
We're older
No, we
than
didn't have
Google.
24/7.
Oh my
it
God, I would
stopped
die!
at a certain
We're older
time.
than Google.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Yeah.
Did you know at 10:30 at night it literally would, like, this is in the early days of the 90s, but it would literally just turn to static, and it would, or sometimes it would have a picture of an Indian with like a picture with a, it would be an Indian, and then there'd be like different colors, and say come back at like whatever time it was, like at 8 a.m. or something.
What? Yeah.
And then once cable kicked in, even local channels started running a lot later. So it wasn't exactly 24 hours, but at least would go until like maybe 5 or 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just that, when
Yeah.
we were growing up,
Mhm.
cartoons would be done at a specific time. Then it
Yep.
would be like TV Land, like the Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island,
Yep.
I Love Lucy, so
All
Fresh.
those, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yep.
All that
Nick
good
and
So we're
stuff.
not
So
24 hour
no
news
cartoon
cartoon
stations.
stations.
Yeah.
The Desi Arnaz show.
Oh yeah.
Black
Yep.
and white TV.
But as we got older,
Yeah.
the only cartoon we would get after midnight would be like Aqua Teen, Hungry
That's
Jack's,
right.
Aqua
Oh,
Teen,
yeah.
all that.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
a lot
watch
of people
Yellowstone?
that grew up like from
Yep.
the 2005 era and over have gotten, they're so spoiled.
Yeah,
I
they are.
was
They
They're
are.
spoiled.
Spoiled.
Yeah, I've been
Spoiled to
You
the max.
are.
You haven't heard the beeping noise of and
We're getting kicked
trying to
off.
call someone on your on the home phone
Landline.
and using the internet. Forget
Yup,
about it.
yup.
Forget
You
about
couldn't
it.
go on the
What
internet.
happened?
Because landline, the way it worked was it used the
Oh.
phone line. So if your mom or dad want to make a phone, you can't do anything
Yep, the
anymore.
internet
And
was-
there was
yep.
no video on the internet yet.
Nope.
Yep.
My parents were early adopters, so
Yeah.
we had 2 landlines. So we could have the internet and a phone at the same time.
Whoa.
We were the rich kids on the
Wow.
block for that
Whoa.
power move.
No, I
Power
had
to the
fucking. I
people.
had nothing. I didn't have a damn phone until I got out of my house.
Right?
I didn't even
Literally.
have, all my friends had flip phones in like 2005.
We had to wait
didn't
until
have
after
not even
9 to
one.
call somebody unlimited. We had to
Yeah.
wait until after 9
Yep.
o'clock.
Yep.
We used to have only 300 text messages for a whole month.
Yep.
Yep.
300.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
that is scary. I'm not
Yeah,
trying to
and
like
then
pull
you
back.
text-
No, I just
Call
want you.
and text after 7 o'clock
Was free.
was free. Everything else you paid for.
And also before, there was a time before Google.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Do you know what we used to do for asking questions on the internet? You go
Oops.
to Ask
The
Jeeves,
hooligans.
Ask Jeeves, Hooligans, and Dogpile.
Wait, so is Jeeves why Iron Man has Jeeves?
Jeeves is just
No,
a
no, no.
stereotypical butler name,
No,
and
it's-
his is Jarvis.
No, it was
And Jarvis
Jarvis
is an acronym
was
for
Iron
just
Man.
another
It's-
random
we're talking
about
intelligence
Ask Jeeves. It's
system.
called
Still a
what's it called?
search engine.
AskJeeves.com.
Last I checked, it's just ask.com.
Yeah.
Was our original Siri? It was
Yes.
called Ask Jeeves. and
It
then
was.
type in.
It was.
And before
I
that,
never
you had to go to a
even know
library.
Yeah.
And
And look,
print out
you-
stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
See, I didn't have a computer till.
Yeah. No,
So
I
it's
literally
much
jumped from
later?
Commodore 64 to a Windows 95.
Yeah, no, I didn't have anything until much
Yeah.
later.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my
Well,
first
Well, I
operating
mean,
system
my,
was
my
Windows
parents literally used
3.1.
Commodore 64 for painting, and that was my first video game with Donkey Kong.
I
Sorry,
had, I had,
sorry,
yeah, I
it
had
just,
Crash
I'm not
Bandicoot.
trying to pull it back. It's just the thing.
Sorry,
no,
sorry.
No, it's good. I actually like this. It's kind of real.
Two
Yeah.
words.
We're all
two
just
words.
old.
Yeah.
LimeWire.
Yes.
Because sometimes I feel like
Yes.
I would love the 90s, then I realize the
literally
90s kind
would
of
sit
suck.
there.
No, it
It's
was.
coming back again. It's coming back. Like,
Yeah,
No,
but
the
at least
90s
with-
was great, but
The 90s were. It was a different time.
You got a cool urban legend
Yeah.
in the 90s, which is not
Yes.
true actually, but
Yes.
okay.
Okay.
So you guys.
I went back there. I'm sorry. It's
no,
just,
you're good. I
Okay.
like hearing this. It just, I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't want to like what's kind of
Yeah, sorry.
Well,
Okay.
it's not like you don't
Beautiful.
see people with
Yeah.
CD cassette players anymore, cassettes or anything like that anymore.
Yeah, or yeah. Ever
So-
since the iPod came out.
Like you guys notice how Beetlejuice has red fingernails?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so you know how there's some weirdo fucks out there that ship him and Lydia?
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so the urban legend, which is not true, apparently, it's not true, they came out and said it wasn't true, was that the reason he had red fingertips was because one of the Beetlejuice writers, because sometimes on cartoons or kid shows to like entertain themselves,
Mhm.
they'll make like Rule 34, like
Right,
SpongeBob
sure.
did it, Bear in the Big Blue House did it.
Right.
Oh my god, what other show did it? I know one.
That house.
Yeah.
More recently,
what?
they the creator of the show who actually got kicked out made some really obscene images in between frames.
You
This
like-
was fairly recent.
Oh,
what?
Yes. Yeah, really.
Wait,
it was in the
in
first
Loud
season.
House?
I officially live
Yeah,
in
in the Loud House.
Yeah, and he was also like he was like the John
Loud
K.
Yes, season 1.
Ugh.
Wait,
He got kicked out of the season after season 3.
which episode? was
I don't know. You'd have to look it up.
I
don't
think
know.
it's the underwear episode.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But okay, so
Oh my God.
apparently they thought it was Rule 34 of Beetlejuice fingering Lydia on her period, and that's why
Oh.
he had.
Yeah.
red
No.
fingernails.
No.
That
that's not
was, okay,
true.
that was gross. That's another reason why this is
And also, you
18
gotta
plus.
understand message boards at the time, because message boards were just full of. There was no. You know how nowadays on Discord there's a bit of moderation, there's mods?
Yeah, I
There were no mods back then.
It's a free for all.
Yeah, it
It
sounds
was
like
a
shit that goes on a
free-for-all.
Buru
It
board.
was like
Board.
League of Legends chat.
Yeah.
I thought
Yep.
they were just red because that's what he didn't have his hands or fingers.
Yeah, like, that's why, really,
Yeah.
because they wanted to give him claws, but they didn't. So they just like shaved it down as like a staple. That's why they're red.
Yeah.
But everybody fought for like years. Like I even
Yeah,
fought this
message
for a little
boards,
I
while.
gotta be honest, I've never heard that in my entire life.
It's
Like,
a real
the old-
theory.
I thought it was just worms in his hands,
How
like,
did
you know,
anyone
because
even let
he
us
doesn't
watch
have any
Beetlejuice
limbs.
in the first
My
place?
dad did.
Like,
Yeah. It
oh
was
my god,
on.
my grandma would never.
I mean, my parents had an objection with.
my mother?
What was it? Darkwing Duck, but she liked the fact that a lot of people does. My ducks were good.
Honestly, I always thought,
Like,
like, I don't know, as I got
Beetlejuice.
grew older and people would talk like about Beetlejuice stuff and
Yeah.
how, with his nails and everything like that, I thought maybe he like, I don't know, those are scars. Like, I always thought they were like
Yeah.
burnt off,
Yeah.
like he did bad things and stuff like that.
Oh,
Fingerprints and stuff like that. And just cinched off his fingerprints.
like in the musical, he has like black fingernails. Like literally, they just painted them black. Like the touring production, I talked to the guy who played him. He said like, "Oh yeah, me and Isabel, she plays Lydia. We go and get our nails done like once a week." So I thought that was so cute.
Aw.
And like Will Blum, the standby for Beetlejuice, he posted a video of him like painting his nails before he had to go on for a show. So, okay, so in this version, we actually meet Beetlejuice's family.
Yep.
I'm gonna play a clip later.
It's a.
God, I remember
his mother
Yes.
B and his father Nate. So at one point, Nate calls Beetlejuice Jr., so take that as you will. In this version, I guess his real name is Nat. So unlike Juno, who's his mother in the musical, Beetlejuice is like really has a great relationship with his parents. Even though like his father is upset that he won't work in a factory for some reason. I worked at a factory one summer. I would never do that again.
The less I say about me working at a factory, the better.
I worked in an umbrella factory.
I worked at a lingerie factory.
Oh, that sounds fun!
It was not.
Oh.
They yelled at me a lot.
Yeah, I was the only one
Yeah,
who
that
didn't
sounds
speak
terrible.
English. But I learned all the jobs, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
However, Beetlejuice also has a brother right there
Yep.
named Donnie, played by Richard Brinsley, who is practically perfect but idolizes his brother.
Then why are they animated to look like exactly like Beetlejuice?
Okay, here's the clip.
This is unlocked.
Hello. Uh-huh. Oh, yes. I'm keeping my hands very clean. Ears, too. Uh-huh. Okay, I'll tell him. Bye, ma'am.
What fingernails are you chomping on?
Was that my...
Yep. Your mother's on her way to visit you for a whole month.
Now there's a new name for horror. Monster Mom. Please, not that!
Ah, reference to the show now.
Oh, you'll enjoy this, son. Next, we'll clip your fingernails and brush your little teeth to fungus your feet. Then, and wait for it, we'll clean up your roadhouse here.
Here, hold that thought.
Zombie invasion.
All right, so I'll live in a boarding house.
Special delivery.
Postcard.
Vacation in the Geek Islands. Wish you were here instead of us. Yours truly, Mom and Dad, dear.
My mom isn't coming.
Gotcha.
Wait, hang on. Okay.
Yep.
So, as you guys know, boundaries vary depending on manifestation. So, apparently ghosts are bound, like people interpret this as ghosts are bound to the place where they died or that has special significance. But if they cross those boundaries, they end up in Saturn, which I never got. Is it like a barrier to get them to move on quicker? Is it like to protect humanity or some shit? Like,
Or just Saturn's a cool place to go.
yeah, I mean, like, it's a cool place.
I mean, it's a lot of... It rains a lot in Saturn. If you're a ghost, I mean.
Yeah.
In real life, they have like literal tsunamis and storms every little second. So.
And sadly, it would be Mars because they're already dealing with little angry red
Of
women.
course.
So,
Yeah. You have to go Saturn, I mean, logically.
I mean, for the sandworms.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Sure.
time is different there. Oh, actually, there was one scene. It was supposed to be whenever they left the house, something different happened. Like in one version, for Adam, they have the screenshots for it. I don't have it here, but Adam was supposed to go out the door and go on like all these like, you know, like the
Alternate
clock,
universes?
like cogs and everything.
Right.
So this cabinet does not exist in the cartoon because we would not have a show. In the first couple episodes, it kind of does. Like Beetlejuice can only talk to Lydia if he's summoned, but then they like change it. So Beetlejuice can go wherever the hell he wants in this version. Because yay.
Annuity be damned.
Yay! Oh my god, it's my favorite Beetlejuice persona. I hate they never put it in the musical. Like I get why they didn't, but they didn't do it.
The one time he cross-dressed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you did this a couple times, I think.
Yeah, he did.
So
It
to
was
get
couple-
around
yeah.
humans, because clearly it's like they're gonna care. Beetlejuice was like the Brie Roger. He had like all of these disguises and personas. Like Mr. Beetleman, the repairman, where he tries to like fix a leak so he can buy Lydia a present. Or Betty Juice. Oh my god, Betty Juice was my favorite. Or Cousin BJ. I think in one version he was like an old guy. And Snuggle Juice. Oh my god, it's my other favorite version. I was gonna play that episode, but I couldn't find any good clips online. So, also Beetlejuice isn't the word he can't say. I was gonna include this too, but I couldn't find it. I think it's the Wizard of Oz episode where Lydia says his name, and he's like, "Who the hell's Beetlejuice?" Like you can't say
Well,
that.
he has the Amnesia episode, of course. That's why, probably.
Oh yeah.
In Amnesia, you don't know who you are, so if he says his own name, he doesn't know who it is. So.
Uh,
Yeah.
I was like, not supposed to say that.
You always have an amnesia episode. Classic 90s cartoons, you always have an amnesia episode.
So you can't say his name. That's another thing.
Right.
So there's actually a whole song and musical literally called Say My Name, where he tries to manipulate Lydia into saying his name, which she does not do because she has street smarts. I don't have street smarts.
I have learned them.
So that's the musical production. This is, I think, Sophia Caruso, and that's Alex Brightman, and that is Sandy. So, fun sandworm facts. Guess who this is?
I have no idea.
That's Katy Perry.
Really?
Yeah, because I guess if you're a Broadway actor, they just call beforehand, so you're going to the show, and then you get to meet the cast and crew.
Oh, that's cool.
So in the movie, Beetlejuice hates sandworms, and he falls prey to them. So like, they have history. Like, in the TV show, Beetlejuice has a huge phobia of sandworms, but he actually conquers that fear to like rescue Lydia. I think in another episode, he befriends a baby sandworm.
That sounds kind of
Like,
that sounds like a canon thing.
so, fun fact, in the touring production, which actually started like a month before the Broadway one closed, they had a certain sandworm. On Broadway, it's Sandy. On the touring production, it's Sammy. So that's Sammy right there. This is Sandy. So touring productions, if you know anything, they have to usually scale down because they're going to different venues that don't always have the same things. So Sandy's only really in Act 2, whereas like we see her at the beginning of Act 1, sort of like foreshadowing. So I was a little upset when I saw the tour for the first time and Sandy did not pop out. I was like, what the hey? But I get it.
Musical.
So, musical is my favorite section. So, like the movie, Beetlejuice goes through tons of different backstories as we try to settle on one before one. Okay, the musical, if you like the cartoon, you'll like the musical. If you like the movie, it combines the cartoon, and yeah. Okay, guess who that is?
Juno?
Yeah, it is Juno in the musical. Juno's actually a villain in this version.
What now?
Yeah, nobody likes that change. I honestly don't mind it, but...
Why?
Okay, so... she's like the one who greets the new arrivals, and then she like tries to keep Lydia in the netherworld. Okay, so what happens is Beetlejuice tries to marry Lydia, she doesn't want to do it, so she runs away to the netherworld, and then Juno finds out she's human, but there's a rule that if you're part of the netherworld, you can't go back, even if you are human, so
Right.
Juno tries to keep her there. So Beetlejuice at the end learns empathy, and he ends up eating his mother with a sandworm, but they're ghosts, so she's gonna come back. Like, so in this version, Beetlejuice is born to Juno, the netherworld's head of customs and processing, and a random ghost who left his mother, possibly for Katherine Hepburn. So, like, throughout the musical, he jokes about his insane mom. Like, Mom, like, I had this mom, and she's a demon, and she would be drinking, and I would tell her, Mom, stop! It's either me or the booze. Then I choose the booze. Like, if you go to the clips on YouTube with Beetlejuice's parents, like, they'll have full-on lines from the musical. But he can't say his name ever! And we never learn why!
Continuity error?
No, he just can never say his name. Like, literally, it's a plot point that he can't, like, the whole musical. But, like, they call him nicknames like Mr. Juice. Okay, what's Beetlejuice's real name? Does anybody know this?
Or did the musical? No, I have no idea.
Lawrence Beetlejuice Shoggoth. Or Shoggoth.
Lawrence.
Yeah,
Why do
I'm
they
not
make
even
Lawrence?
fucking. That's his real name. In the musical.
Why is his well,
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
I'm not even joking.
Lawrence.
Well, that was unexpected.
Well,
Yeah.
his real name is actually Beetelgeuse, but like the star, I can
Alright.
identify where the star is. It's up the sky.
I mean, if you want a really random factoid for you, do you know the Doctor's real name from Doctor Who? Theta Sigma.
That's his real name. That's a cool
Yes,
name.
that is his real name, and they never mention. They never say it again. It's only from the Fourth Doctor, and they never mention it again. Just letting you know.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's his. I literally, like, I remember watching that episode of Doctor Who. It's like, oh, we can't say his name. What's his real name? I just did a little digging. I was like, oh, there's an episode. Looked at the episode. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So now you know.
Okay, why is his real name Lawrence? So during the song "The Fright of Their Lives," where Beetlejuice tries, okay, in this version the Maitlands are like pussies, to put it one way.
Mhm.
So he has to teach them how to scare because like they would never survive in the real world ever.
Sure. of course
So Beetlejuice explains to Adam and Barbara that he gives them a card that says Beetlejuice. They're like, "This is your name?" He's like, "No, it's actually my middle name. My first name is Lawrence." But then at the end of the play, Juno says Lawrence. So yeah, that's his real name. So in the DC tryout, because a lot of Broadway shows have tryouts at the National Theater, and fun fact, I saw it at the National Theater on tour, but they saw that now. Juno was renamed Mrs. Eileen Shoggoth until they got to Broadway. I guess to connect it more, so that's maybe a reason why people don't like Juno in this version. So Juno in this version was a demon, a literal demon. Like Beetlejuice would be like, "My mom's a demon." She's a literal demon. Anyway, so if Juno's last name is still Shoggoth, because there's nothing saying it isn't, then Beetlejuice's real name would logically be Lawrence Beetlejuice Shoggoth, or at least at one point, that's what it was. So, where does Beetlejuice come from? In the original version of the musical, Beetlejuice would be a Grim Reaper who guides souls to their holes, if that rhymes. So when you died in this version, your soul, or like the equivalent, goes to Beetlejuice. It goes like down. He guides you to your hole, you walk in, and then it heals up. And obviously they can't do this because it's freaking dark and nobody would like it. So Beetlejuice would want to get out of the job because he thinks it's boring, but the song is actually on YouTube and I listen to it and it freaks me out every time. However, a fun version, Gotta Get Out of This House, in the opening song, which was originally retooled into the whole being dead thing, Beetlejuice would say he was banished to the Maitland household for thousands upon thousands of years, and the residents would include pioneers who died of plagues, Chippewa Indians, his words not mine, and he even says, like, "Yeah, I'm not going there." And he would have been stuck in the house, scaring the residents, but wanting to be free, but he never could because nobody could see him because you're invisible when you're sad. Then the Maitlands would have moved in, stuff happens, and then they would die, and the story would proceed as it did before. And they actually made an animatic during COVID of what the song would look like, and it's the demo by Eddie Perfect, who wrote the song.
It makes sense because Beetlejuice had a life. Therefore, how would he be in the Stone Age times?
Yeah, like that was weird. Okay, that I can't understand. But like
he had a life though, like we established that earlier. So like, how is he a caveman person?
Well, it kind of is like a different version, so I should get into it a little bit more.
Okay.
Like, in this version they actually die because of like creaky floorboards.
That's just sad.
Yeah, in the Broadway version, in the tour version, it's like they're fixing up this like crib to sell, and it's like an electrical wire kills both of them.
Funny.
But it's sad though because they use like babies to avoid having a baby. Like Adam like builds cribs and Barbara makes pottery, so that's like equally sad. There was supposed to be a song sang in the musical. The reason they never had kids was because there was a miscarriage. So yeah, that never went to Broadway. Okay, this is the DC version because the DC version was a completely different show. It was more adult and crass. So in this version, after the whole being dead thing, which is the opener, Beetlejuice explains to the audience that he did something really, really bad, and it got him booted from the netherworld and forced to wander the earth unseen. I'm as powerless as a gay Republican. That's his words, not mine. So as a result, he's an embarrassment to the dead and he wants friends. The problem is this is Beetlejuice and he's freaking scary. So he's invisible to all and cannot seriously affect the world of the living unless they say his name 3 times. He never goes into it, but in this version, again, it's more darker and adult, he manipulates Lydia from the very start, and he's gross and more disgusting. Like, he makes like a too much bush joke, which I just kind of like. And I guess perhaps to make him more sympathetic, because he's a main character, whereas in the movie he's only in there for like 20 minutes. This part of the story was left out, so he becomes friends with Lydia, but then he fears Lydia's gonna leave him because he's being a clingy asshole, so yeah. So that's him in the Broadway version with Sophia and Caruso. So an important point, most people assume Beetlejuice was born a human in the Broadway version or a human with demonic origins, like his mom was a demon, his father was a human, that's what I went with, but then he died. The DC version would have him clearly say he...
DC is the place?
DC is where they had the first tryout.
Ah, okay.
Because usually Broadway musicals, either they'll have like an off-Broadway show and then transfer it, or they'll do it like in Chicago or like DC or something like that.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
And then if it's successful there, they'll like retweet the show if it needs to be, and then bring it there. Like, you know Spam-A-Lot?
Yes.
That was in DC.
First. Oh, I see.
Like the new one was in DC. I actually saw it. It had a bunch of the Beetlejuice cast. It was really good. Actually had, I'll get this later, but I saw it was really good. That's where I met Rob McClure, but it was like a completely different show, and then I saw it on Broadway.
Okay.
But he was in there as Sir Lancelot, but this is pretty common.
Okay.
So the DC version would have him clarify he was born dead, as in he was born to a demon and maybe another demon or a ghost, and that's why he has all these powers. However, his father left him when he was young, and his mother was an abusive asshole. And in the touring production, actually this is a like weird joke. So when he first talks to the Maitlands, he says that he had sex with Katharine Hepburn, but then later on he says that his father left his mother for Katharine Hepburn. So take that as you will. So what is strange and unusual? I myself am strange and unusual. But what is it? The only thing we know is they're the only people who can see ghosts. But what does that mean? People who are dead inside? Like, that's why people thought only Lydia could see the ghosts, or outcasts. Well, like, according to, this is the, what's it called? Oh my god, the Broadway version, that's Will Blum, he was on that night. He explains it.
Get in there, man! Give them over! They can't see us! Observation, Adam. You see, the living ignore the dead. We are invisible and breathers. We assume much about their stupid little lives. The most of them never notice anything strange or unusual unless you make them. And that's why you need me. You're gonna help us? In for a prize. Itty bitty prize. More of a favor.
Excuse me. This is all happening very fast. I mean, we just died, and now you're here, and they're here, and...
Stop. I get it. But the two of you are special. You died together. That never happens. Unless, of course, it's a murder-suicide, which makes for a very awkward eternity.
Yeah, so he explains in this version what it is, which is something the movie never did. I just take it as, like, either you're an outcast or you see beyond yourself, or you're just dead inside, So yeah, Beetlejuice explained it in the musical. We saw it with Will Blum. The most consistent point would be that Beetlejuice would have been damned to roam the earth. He would have never known why humans value life, as he never experienced it himself. So yeah, born to Juno, blah blah blah. Beetlejuice walks the earth, blah blah blah. Manipulates an alien, blah blah. And who is your favorite Beetlejuice?
Film?
I have to say Michael Keaton because I haven't seen the cartoon in a while.
Mine's Alex Brightman and Will Blum. I actually saw Will Blum at the stage door, and I like freaked out, and everybody was looking at me.
Well, I mean, Broadway shows are quite expensive, so it's easier to just rewatch the TV show, rewatch the movie.
Yeah, that's true. Perhaps because nobody really knows the true story, we've had to fill in the blanks, as Gen Z is really inspired. So this is Alex Brightman. He's kind of hot. He's made a career out of his Beetlejuice voice.
That's the key, right? Because people, he can't come out, look like a devil, and he's been rotting and go, "Hi, everybody." It would be insane. Although now that I'm thinking about that, that might be scarier.
It's a little bit more terrifying.
That's right.
So he has a vocal mutation.
Oh no, not the buffering.
Oh
It kind of
no.
has a thing like that, and I was like, well, I don't want to just do that. So we started kind of finding this thing, and what I found is that I sort of biologically am a bit of a mutant, and I've had this corroborated with my vocal pathologist and my ear, nose, and throat doctor that I have capacity to squeeze together things in my throat that not everybody can. So when you kind of do a voice that's like this, if you're trying to do something like this, and you try to make your voice really, really gruff, it's gonna tickle. Mine's as easy as breathing, because I'm beating other things together in my throat. And when I found that out, it became wildly easy to play around. Because I can go from here to here to here, and all this kind of stuff here. I can do this entire interview like this. I would be completely fine for tonight's show.
That's incredible.
And then I can still talk like this when I want to. Isn't that fun? The voice, that's the key.
But like, he made a career out of this. So like, you know Hell of a Boss?
Mm-hmm.
He plays Fizzarolli because Fizzarolli's inspired by Beetlejuice. Because Fizzy Pop is a huge Broadway fan, and that's how she got in the musical. So RoboFizz, which I don't think I have time to play, was inspired by Beetlejuice, having like long arms and teeth, and he was part snake, kind of. That's like one of his motifs. You know, I know time.
Please, it's me, the robotic Fizzarolli, shipped from Big Ozzy's factory to bring you a wonderful show celebrating Lululand spelled with O's to avoid lawsuits. Lululand, Lululand, everybody sing along with the Lulu band. Every boy, every girl, every woman, every man loves Lululand. Lululand, Lululand, everything is beautiful in Lululand. Ugly children holding hands in Lululand. Everybody's friends, and nobody is mean. No copyright infringements ever seen. Has a dream, I'm here to tell about a magical, fantastic place called Lululand. I sing along with the Lulu band. Every boy, every girl, every woman, every man loves Lululand.
Oh, fun fact, actually, Alex Brightman also voices Adam in Has Been Hotel.
Oh.
And Sir Penches.
Oh.
Adam's his real voice.
That's cool.
Still despise Adam.
I do.
Yeah.
Nope.
So, if you guys
Great
were much,
singer, but no.
if you guys were much Dead End Paranormal Park,
Mm-hmm.
it's like Beetlejuice. Like, that's Beetlejuice. Okay, so it's about like a dog who gets possessed by a demon king who's basically Beetlejuice. But like, the dog, part of his soul still gets stuck in the dog, so that's how you get Pugsley, who is like Alex Brightman's real voice, and then he uses the Beetlejuice voice for him.
That's definitely a little fat chihuahua.
Yeah, no, he's a pug.
It looks
a
like
pug.
a pug.
That's why he's called Pugsley.
It's a pug.
So Teen Titans Go even had Beetlejuice come for an
Of course
episode.
he did.
Actually, fun fact, this is how my YouTube career got started. Because it was one Halloween, I went to Atlantic City around vacation, and I was starting to do YouTubing, and then I watched this episode because I don't watch Teen Titans Go, I just watch whatever's on TV when I go on vacation. But the point is, I reviewed this episode, and it was my first video to get over 500 views. So it was my highest rated at the time. Now I make that in like an hour.
An hour?
Hey there, folks. How are you? Good to see you. You mind holding this for me?
Research,
Boy, am I hungry. Being dead will do that to you. You guys got any grub around here? Oh, here we go.
Spit him out! Right now!
What? What?
The Silky is not the snack!
Fine. jumps anyway, they give me terrible gas. Oh man, can you believe this guy?
Yo, this dude be hilarious, yo.
You think that's funny? Check this out.
Listen, Beetlejuice.
Whoa, easy with the B word. If you say it 3 times in a row, you'll banish me for good. And nobody wants that.
We're looking for the Halloween spirit. Do you think you can help us?
Wait a minute. Raven, don't you think finding that ad was a little too convenient? I mean, do you really think we can trust this guy?
What? Of course you can trust me. Look, we wear the same clothes and have the same bad breath. Plus, I know where you can find your missing Halloween spirit.
You do?
Sure. You see, lost spirits always end up in one place. The Netherworld.
No, he did it!
That sounds simple enough. Think you can take us there?
Oh, gee, I don't know. I'm a very busy ghost. I'm doing a show on Broadway. I'm planning a trip to Hawaii, and I just got engaged to Winona Ryder.
Please, Beetlejuice.
Winona
yeah,
Ryder.
come on, Beetlejuice.
Okay, I'll take you. Just stop using the B word. Now, let's see here. I just gotta draw a door. Voila. Off we go. Oops, almost forgot. If you want to enter the Netherworld, first, you gotta die.
Huh?
Ow.
All aboard the Netherworld Express. Come on, let's get this train a-rolling. Attention, ladies and gentlemen, this is your conductor speaking. If you look to the right of our train, you'll see the Dead Sea. And on the left is Dead Man's Gulch. Gulch! And just ahead is a dead end. Beetlejuice, do something! Listen to me. Everything is under control as soon as I find the right button. Aha! I told you I had it under control.
Beetlejuice, will you just get us to the Lost Spirits room already?
What? Don't get your tights all in a bunch. The Lost Spirits room is in there. But first, we're gonna have to do something about those guards.
If only there was a way we could strut past them.
Hey, you just gave me a great idea, babe. It's showtime.
Yep.
Actually, this is the last clip. Yeah, the last one. Okay. I am not a big fan of Teen Titans Go, but they did their research. This was a really good episode if you're a big fan of Beetlejuice. So, yeah, really recommend. But I think, yeah, we're done, actually. I mean, unless you guys want to talk or, I don't know. So, did you guys hear Beetlejuice getting a sequel?
Yes, I heard. Yes.
It's probably going to get tax write-off, like,
Yep.
Coyote versus Acme.
Yeah, Coyote versus Acme.
Not gonna lie, I'm actually really looking forward to it. I mean, it's very nostalgic to see it, you know, like an extra smooth part of it, like to see what Lydia looks like as like a mom or whatever, and it's gonna be different.
Yep.
And at the same time, it appeases both like the older generation and the newer generation, and appreciate Beetlejuice a little bit more, so to speak.
I do think it still should have been a show, because we saw with the cartoon there was so much they could have explored, but it will take anything, I guess. So.
The big question of the day is what canon are they going to follow?
Yeah! No, it's just, I'm afraid they're going to give him some, like, stupid backstory, like his mom took away his toy and that's why he's evil or something like that. Like, they're doing that for every villain nowadays.
Well, if they do it through Amazon, it'll be better.
But yeah, I think that's it actually. I will do one more panel tomorrow. It's on South Park, the biggest South Park controversies. So I actually made a few videos about that. But
About Tolkien too?
no, not Tolkien.
Why not? Because they just resubbed it where all the new subtitles is respelling Tolkien now.
People say that, but I've been watching the show like live with subtitles and I never see that. Only like the one episode. Like the old episodes, he still just Tolkien.
He's not J.R.L. Tolkien.
Yeah, it's like Muhammad. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk
right.
about the time Russia tried to sue the show, how China banned it.
Right, and also that time Saudi Arabia banned it.
Oh, they did. I should know
Yeah.
that.
See, I think that's the reason why the movie was made.
Really?
Because I believe they got really mad at the fact that they were told that they had to censor themselves, so they just ended up making a whole movie about censorship.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I think it's coming out again, actually, like next month. It's coming out.
And also,
around
there's
Christmas.
if you're you probably played all the two video games.
I only played the one game.
You got to play the other one. It's good.
I'm not a gamer. I just watched the episodes to fall asleep.
Okay. Yeah, but what about the N64 games?
Oh, of course, the N64 games.
Yeah, you
No, that's a different time period, though. You gotta understand, it's not an action game. It's more like, the N64 game was amazing with the kart one.
There was a first
I played the
person
kart
shooter,
one.
a
Yes.
Mario Kart ripoff,
Yes.
and a Mario Party ripoff.
This is true, but it had no story.
Mm.
That's the difference.
Well, if you played the original game that was the FPS, it didn't
Right.
have cutscenes in the PlayStation version.
It did?
The N64 version did. It's because of that, largely because the N64 version is like the best. The PlayStation version is like horrible. Whatever. But,
Yeah, fair.
you talk about the two games. I'm assuming you're talking about the RPGs.
Yeah, the
Those
RPGs.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Those are the modern versions. I delineate between the retro versus the modern.
Well, I know they don't like the games that much, but I kind of like the FPS.
Well, the FPS, the kart was really interesting too.
Yeah.
And also the quiz game.
The quiz game was okay.
Yeah.
but
That's
you
the
really
reason
need-
I bought the flash card for the N64 just for the quiz game.
You really
Yeah.
need 4 players.
You do,
for that.
yeah.
Although you can play just by yourself if you want. You can be the
Yeah.
only competitor.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did see it in the panel, but I guess you guys want to talk about the panel.
Sure. I mean, is there a panel after this?
No, I think
No,
that's
this
it.
was pretty much one of the last things of the night. The
Okay.
burlesque technically can run up until midnight, but there's nothing past midnight.
Okay.
We just don't.
Well, I'm
really
clocking out
care
midnight
if
anyway,
staff
so
are-
it's all good.
Yeah, I was gonna go down to like the info booth and like make sure like
Mhm.
once everyone clocks out.
Oh yeah,
that she-
yeah. And also I gotta grab my stuff from 311. I
Right.
still have my other cosplay stuff.
Okay.
Yep.
The back of my face.
But